Welcome to the jungle. Come take a peek.
Whistle in the wind, hear the cash rolling. Hero or a hustler, let the show begin. Fresh out the cage, Ernie's back on the street. Got a golden halo and some shiny receipts. Protect the kids, he cries real loud, but only if you drop 25,000. Ooh, he's got that 16 mil insurance thrill. Ooh, saving kids. If you cover the bill, sign the check, make it quick, or justice might just slip. He walks like a preacher, talks like a king, but every good savior got a charge for the ring. A finder of lost, a seeker of truth. Just wire the funds, he'll find them for you. Send it now, send it now. Protect at all costs, but first, the cost. Ooh, he's got that 16 mil insurance thrill. Ooh, saving kids. If you cover the bill, sign the check, make it quick, or justice might just slip. Who needs a conscience when you got a rape? Justice ain't cheap, better pay it straight. Ernie's out, world beware. If your kid goes missing, hope you got the fare.
Dudes, good morning. What's up? Oh my God, Michelle, it's good to see you. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Give me a 1 in chat if you can hear me, if my audio sounds okay. Do I need to back up from the mic? I got this new microphone. I'm still setting it up. I'll go check. Just want to make sure it's keeping its settings. No, it's not. So we'll put it up to about 80. Something like that. You can hear me okay, though? Really? Sounds okay. I'm probably a little louder now. But I don't want to have him to be swallowing my microphone. So I'll have to listen to it again and make sure that I have the positioning adjusted right. I got a habit of talking into quiet mics anyway. What's up this morning, Susan? It's March 21st, first day of spring. 9:01 a.m. Welcome to the show. Nothing serious. I like doing these little analyses, especially on Ernie, because he said some pretty outlandish shit. Not that I'm hating on him necessarily. It's actually kind of it's really, it's promoting his content to a degree, which is positive for him, but in a way that highlights it for the haters, in a sense. Now, he's got some bizarre claims in this particular video from 2 days ago, and let me just grab the title because it's lost me right now. It's called "Tonight We Prepare Our Team to Fight Against Child Predators." But he brings out this claim about Rose's Bible. And the reason I'm bringing it up first is because it has to do with Summer Wells, the Summer Wells case. So he's latching on to that. I'm wondering if that's Rose Bly's Bible he's got in his hand, but that's what he's trying to pass it off as. He is fascinating. I've got to remind people not to get too carried away in painting him out to be less than human in that sense for what it is he's trying to do in front of a camera, because he does a lot of it and it's just personal storytelling. However, there's a darker tone to it people are concerned about, and it's the fact where he's insisting on putting himself around children and vulnerable individuals. And I don't know how active he actually is in doing that. Like, in my experience with Ernie, it's just a bunch of talk, right? It's just a bunch of talk in that regards. But he does have some old content with Tim, and he refers to that throughout this particular video, by the way. Now, he may keep doing that because it generates a lot more interest on YouTube for people in a different demographic who are looking to call him out and catch him in something. And that automatically puts Ernie in a position of knowing more than the people in his audience. So he can keep people in the dark to a degree. But it's still fun to highlight. And when you have the tools, when you have the tools, Rex, of artificial intelligence, it brings and points out all of these contradictions and conflicts in record time. So it really saves in having to go back and spend 2-3 hours in finding stuff in his live streams. It takes a matter of 30 seconds. Now, hold on. Before we get to that, let me read Rex's comment. Oh no, Bird in 303 lost twice and then got another 4 contempt charges. Wow, where is the update for them, AB? I don't know. Rex, what is it you're wanting to say here, son? Shouldn't you be thanking me for the I sent you a little bit of donation this morning to get yourself a pot roast. You're not even thanking me for it? What's up? The boys didn't lose anything. But it's nice to see you gloating all around the internet. I went and uploaded 45 minutes of your video this morning about 5 a.m. Right around when I sent you that $15. US, by the way. I hope you get some food out of it, but people in the chat were concerned that you're in a drunken stupor. You can't play? Oh, you're on the air right now? Are you? Oh, we're going to play that game, are we? Okay. I'm surprising you're slow enough to type in my chat in that regards. Oh, where can we tune in and listen to you? Are you on the Hawk radio? Are you on the Hawk.tv? Stream Life Tube? All of the above? Let us know, Rex, where exactly everybody can tune in to listen to Rex. Yeah, they have a bunch more court dates. Yeah, what about you? Your court dates? Yeah, so are you going to, you're mentioning on your live earlier, I noticed, about trying to sue them for all kinds of different things. Is this correct? Or are you just talking, blowing smoke? Well, what are you going to do when nobody can talk about your situation online, Rex? Nobody can talk about your situation online because you're too busy trying to Rex is the man who used to champion free speech, now wants to silence others. I get what he's trying to do. I get what he's trying to do in that sense. He doesn't want to be the butt of Bird and 303's content in that sense. And I think by the time that Rex was so concerned over the video that Bird and 303 made about Chomo honey in that sense, he had to go and do something. He had to change something. Who's to know? It's all a game to Rex as well, though, right? It was funny. I won't one of the cases without even being there. Not quite. Good to see you, Selena. Good morning, darling. I had a wonderful breakfast. I'm eating this actual bread. It's not none of that enriched bread. It's actual bread. You know, it still has that sponge-like texture, but it's perfect when you cook it up and it saturates all the butter and the bacon fat. Oh my God, I had like this bacon and mushroom and red pepper with an egg still with its yolk on it. And then you fry it in the pan afterwards. There's one sitting on the table for my daughter right now. Man, that is a good breakfast. 100% natural in that. Let me see. So you're saying you were 20 minutes late filing motions downstairs. I see. Well, I'm glad that you're bragging about it. You're not really giving us any information, Rex. You're just bragging about things that don't make any sense to anybody. So what's up? You're making it look like you've made out with this huge win when in fact you haven't. I hope the boys go and put a restraining order back on you. Because what are you going to do? What are you going to do when nobody can talk about the situation or talk about you? Although your ratings are up a little bit, averaging some higher numbers in your live chat, I've noticed. Oh, the bread makes that sandwich. And the bread is so big. It's like a sandwich bread, proper. So it'd be about 8 to 10 inches wide, about 6 to 8 inches high, sliced. Oh my God, is it fantastic. But it all stays together, just tickety-boo. Oh my gosh. With all that protein just topped off by, you know, the extra protein with the mushrooms. Just I had white mushrooms, nothing serious, but they were fresh. But the red pepper, it tops it right off. Oh my God, that flavor. Yeah, that's what he was going for. Rex was trying to lock them up. It's a back and forth, right? I can see Rex's point without a doubt, but Rex a lot of times asks for it in his behavior. But because they have a history together, and Rex has been obsessed about it ever since he had his feelings hurt in Denver. I mean, it's not really any great win. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Congratulations. It's just really a label. Now you can't talk about Rex anymore, boys. Well, your rating should go up. You're saying, funny, I'm not under charges. They are. Why would I have to worry about what they have to show, LMAO? It don't work that way. What doesn't work what way? What the fuck are you talking about to begin with? Funny, you are not under charges. They are. What charges? What are you talking about? Why are you in here talking about Burden 303 like that? You didn't win anything, Rex. Nobody knows what's going on. You keep people in the dark intentionally. And then you say, hey, look at me win. I won. Let's see some paperwork, boy. Let's see some paperwork. All right. I'm just taking your word for it. So Rex, you're not even going to thank me? You're not even going to thank me for my generous donation this morning to Home Network TV? Did it go to you or did it go to one of your did it go to Tommy? Yeah, and you're all on about how I'm in trouble. Rex, you don't know when to shut the fuck up. You don't know when to stop. I won't be in any trouble for anything. I'll talk what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about you necessarily. You don't want to talk about anything. You want to yell. You want to tell me how the boys are wrong. Come on. You want to talk about how you're going to fuck David up 40 ways from Sunday? Well, congratulations. You're stomping all over David's rights. Well, you got a point there. Peace of mind is important, Rex. Do you feel better now? Now you can stomp around in live chats and go on about it. Is that the peace of mind you were looking for? Oh, yeah. They should not have had... Well, perhaps. You know, you've got an argument in that regards, Rex. I've never said you don't. But it's how these things work itself out. It's understandable. Fuck, I tell everybody that you're a human being. I don't dehumanize you in any way. Doesn't mean I agree with all of your choices in life, but it shouldn't be used as a tool to harass you in any way like that. However, I think what the selling factor for the judge in that restraining order probably have to be your history, because you guys all know each other. Maybe she was paid off. Maybe she was paid off, Rex. Maybe it's one of those idiot judges that Trump's busy trying to get rid of. I don't know. I don't know all the ins and outs. We couldn't figure it out for yourself because you put the kibosh on WebEx. Too bad. Rex, come on up here. Why don't you take a smoke break from your job over there? Come up and fill us in, brother. You want to take a link and let us know? He wants to poke the bear and then cry when the bear wakes up. Well, of course he does. Who doesn't? Okay, all right, put your thinking caps on. Word search, friends. What the fuck does this sentence mean? Seeing how many people do nothing, don't be hateful, I do. Good morning, Lindy. Yeah, into the wise, you're the bear. You don't want to be poking Rex up. He's a legal bear. Good morning, Kit. So, okay, Rex doesn't want to take a link. Well, we'll continue on then. So, back to the bizarre claims, slip-ups, and potential bullshit lies from Ernie's live stream here. Ernie's stream is rife with oddities and inconsistencies. Here's some notable examples. So the first bizarre claim we get to is timestamp 146, which is Rose's Bible. Ernie shows an old Bible, allegedly tied to the Summer Wells case, claiming it was given by a family member. This is bizarre, specific, emotionally charged, and lacks context. Why keep it wrapped in plastic? It feels like a prop for dramatic effect, so says Grok. Second one is going to be running for governor again at 1 hour, 22 minutes. And the third one is Pink Berto was in chat. He imagines this. We'll skip over Pink Berto, but we'll go to this one. We'll go to the more notable ones.
Let me get this out. I want to show you something. I want to show you something, guys. Let me show you something. I've had this ever since the Summer Wells case. Everywhere I've been, everywhere I went. And that's this right here. I've kept this everywhere. Supposedly, this belonged to Rose Bly. Now, I don't know. I know I'll tell you the story.
Yeah, he's
It's
still a
very,
chomo.
very old. I had it wrapped up in plastic, but this is it. It's very, very old. Very, very old. Now,
First of all, it just looks like a poppy, bro. That's a poppy, not a rose, brother. Like, lest we forget on Remembrance Day. Ernie. Yeah, with the yellow, there's usually black and yellow on the insides. I'm just going from my memory, of course. I guess it could be a rose. I mean, is it a rose smushed? I'm trying to figure that out. It looks like a poppy. What the hell's going on in my chat? It's good to see everybody this morning. It's Friday morning, by the way. No timeouts in this morning. It's troll away. It's fight 'em Friday. Now, come on, Rex. What are you saying in my chat? Okay, you're a chomo. Forgot the E, but I'm not a chomo. Thank you. Aren't you working? Take a link, man. Take a link and get it off your chest. Stop pretending to work unless you've hit the bottles this early. Rex, the only two things you won are a criminal record and half of a lawsuit, which was won for you by attorneys. Ernie can't hold on to his HIV meds, but can hold on to some silly flower. I think it was what he's insinuating. It was just given to him by Candace Bly, because of course they were close when Don was in jail in that sense. And this Bible belonged to Rose. And I'm not completely sold that that's actually a rose. Does that matter? Whatever it is, just like you won't win. I don't know what I'm doing, and I have no chance. Notice these things don't work with me. Rex. Here, I want to show. Can you believe the audacity of this son of a bitch? He's been in here. Let me see here. Upload you this. I was over there earlier. So, just to make note, because I went over this morning and woke up, I went over and gave this fucking asshole $15, and there's my receipt. Okay? Thanks for donating $15 US to Home Network TV. Do you think this son of a bitch comes in here and says thank you? Can you fucking believe that? You son of a bitch. I know you're trying to sneak out from that. I'm putting it on the record. That's my congratulations to whatever victory that you claim. Now, I added a note alongside with that. I hope you get a pot roast with that money. You should be able to get a decent pot roast on sale for you and Tommy. The one that's not on the floor. So, Cheeky Monkey, you really need to come up for air, bro. Let's see. Lying still won't work. Never did, never will. Even if you found it, it won't be posted till Monday. But if you call the courthouse, they will tell you. I'll wait till you go talking about it online in that sense. Hey, Eric. Good morning, Eric. Let me see. Run with Scissors. Where do I see Run with Scissors? Good morning, Runs with Scissors. There you are. I see you. Yeah, I thought you guys might like that. Is it a poppy? Yes. Does it look just like that? It doesn't look like, usually they have plastic poppies and it's just like red with black on it, a little bit of something in the middle. But I think a real one, I'm certain, has those yellow seeds on the inside that sit there up on those pistils, I guess you would call it. It's probably called something else. I'm not. I'm just wondering what it's called. Listen to this guy. Oh, I missed that. Where are the losers? I don't see them here. What? So you come into my chat looking for the guys you just put a restraining order against? They're terrified of you, Rex. Congratulations. All the kids are scared. You've scared all of 303's kids. Yeah, pot roast does sound delicious. Fucking guy. Rex, you didn't win, you lying piece of shit. I noticed there's something up. He was preemptively in here bragging. I don't know anything about it. Listen, at the end of the day, I can understand anybody not wanting to be on the receiving end of any sort of like chomo audit type of thing. My question has always been, and I thought it was centered around this last episode with them just driving in their cars and Rex wanting to pretend. But in fact, they did go by his house and they stayed in the public. But I guess that warranted was enough for the judge to grant whatever restraining order against the boys. I don't think that's the end of it because he's going to go for the whole Monty. If the judge just granted you a restraining order, why aren't you charging them with harassment or going after them civilly in some sort of way? First, they probably should have some money, and you know David doesn't have any money. So why are you putting them through the process? I don't know. But to him, he'll have a different perspective. I'm not trying to simplify it by any means. Of course, it's different when you're the person under scrutiny. And it's a hollow thing because to Rex, he thinks he has all of these points, and whether he does or not, maybe he does, because who are we to say what's true and what's not in that fact? We can only go on what is on record. So I'm sure he has a different perspective on all kinds of things. But no matter what, Rex, I'd never, ever admit to and just let go by the wayside a sex crime. Especially when you had every opportunity to, issue a defense. There we go. Right. I'm going to hold you to that, mother. I didn't want any special treatment. I just wanted to thank you, Rex. I wanted to make sure you got it, you prick. There's a little method to the madness because, if you give him I know he probably hasn't seen a donation in so long. I sent him some money in hopes of getting some content out of it because he's on cloud 9 from his perspective. So all of this work that he's put into this TRO or these restraining orders is paying off, according to him. I don't know about that. Well, you're not a twink? That's a gay term, dude. No, of course not. That's Tommy. Oh, shit. Oh, it's funny. You're a monster, Rex? Oh, Lindy. Remember the monster is real. Don't be intimidating my chat, Rex. Good morning, sweet tea. I'm just reading some of Rex's comments in my chat. He's on one. And we're talking about Ernie Shell in the background, but Rex is trying to derail, which is fine this morning. It's only talking about Ernie. We're talking about some some interesting or bizarre claims in his live stream a couple days ago. Is that true, Dunning? Angela was 14 when you knocked her up. Rex, why do you like such young girls? What's up with that? None of you could rid us of those numbnuts. There's a bee in numbnuts. It doesn't matter. Oh, that's good, though. All right. Hold on here. So hold on here. So this is Rose's Bible, just to recount. Hour 46 of this live stream, Ernie's showing an old Bible allegedly tied to the Summer Wells case, claiming it was given by a family member, which is Rose. That's Candace's sister who disappeared. This is bizarrely specific, emotionally charged, and lacks context. So it's funny how all of a sudden, maybe I'm just putting words in his mouth, but all of a sudden Ernie comes up with Rose Bly's Bible. Like, why would Candace part with something so sacred to her family in that sense? How did it get into Ernie's possession? Of course, it's got to be just a prop, right? But I don't really hold it against him. Like, why wouldn't he be using props? But it makes no sense for it to be in his possession. Excuse me.
I've had this ever since the Summer Wells case. Everywhere I've been, everywhere I've been. That's this right here. I've kept this everywhere. Supposedly, this belonged to Rose Bly. Now, I don't know. I know. I'll tell you the story. It's very, very old. I had it wrapped up in plastic, but this is it. It's very, very.
Yeah. So what's up with that, Rex? Don't let us. Maybe Ernie wants to talk about that, because you keep going around telling everybody that you've had the right to your Second Amendment reinstated in North Dakota sometimes only. And then I've caught you in other times claiming, you're able to own guns. And then sometimes it's you're able to own guns if you make your own ammunition. It's not quite clear, but Grok says that you're not allowed to. I know maybe there's some condition, but I don't think that you personally are able to carry or hold or have a weapon. Maybe a black powder gun, but I'm not completely sure. I can't quote that law. Why don't you teach them some gun safety then, Rex? Rex, you ain't got real toys. You ain't off the registry yet, and you're waving alleged firearms. He has. I gotta figure this out. You're allowed to have firearms now? Hold on for a second. I gotta search this. We'll see what that says. Let me see here.
Very old, very, very old. Now, one of the Wells family,
Colorado.
had this.
Yeah, it may not be because it might not be because he's an RSO. I'm not sure if you could consider Rex a felon. Have you been to prison actually, or just jail, Rex? I don't know that you've been to prison, but maybe. So federal law, under federal law, specifically the Gun Control Act. So individuals convicted of a felony are prohibited from possessing, purchasing, or receiving firearms or ammunition. This applies nationwide, including in Colorado. Yeah, but his crimes would have been a felony, right? That crime he admitted to would have been his felony. Am I wrong on that? That's 18 U.S.C. 922G. Oh, fuck, I sound like Rex. Let's see. This applies nationwide. It goes on to say, since many sex offenses in Colorado are classified as felonies, for example, set SA on a child, an RSO with a felony conviction is automatically barred from firearm ownership or possession under federal law, regardless of state rules. So the key point is, if an RSO's conviction is a felony, they cannot legally carry or obtain firearms due to this federal prohibition. This ban is lifelong unless their rights are restored, like Rex is trying to do now, which is rare and requires specific legal processes like a pardon or expungement, not typically available for sex offenses in Colorado. Rights restoration. In rare cases, firearm rights can be restored after a felony conviction through a governor's pardon. That's why Ernie's trying to run for governor of Kentucky. If the conviction is expunged. However, Colorado law rarely allows expungement for sex offenses, requiring registration. Pardons are exceptional. So the answer is really 18 U.S.C. 922 G subrule 1. I would think would be the short answer to what we're looking for.
I'm not going to say who. Now, this is up. I've never really told you guys. I've had this, I've had it for a while. It don't matter. Now, when doing field interviews and stuff over there, see, a lot of the things I did over there, I didn't put it on YouTube. I didn't want to put it on YouTube.
Rex, you're in my chat admitting to a crime. No, you can't. No, you can't, Rex. Oh, shit, Rex. Yeah, you can, or I would not have them. Sorry, the law wins, you don't. So you've admitted to a crime, and you're just trying to convince everybody that there's an exception. You're one of the rare cases. King Sir banned. A Balance, could you please do a show on Rex's court case with Flathead Corruption Watch? His main supporter. I've been wondering what happened there. Okay, yeah, sure, I don't mind doing that at some point. That cracks me up. Oh, shit. All of these idiot predators praying they'll get some Hail Mary of a pardon. That's because the court system and the justice system has been so badly abused. In Colorado, you never get off the SRO. SOR. So you do not get gun rights back, pretty sure. Well, we're going to be speaking specifically about Rex's case, and that's a for sure with Rex. You didn't even, provide anything other than a, statement at the time, and you presented it as though you were in a relationship with this girl. I don't know. So that's really what he's saying, is that he's had his rights to obtain and carry a firearm restored. Oh, here you're having the entire record expunged when Ernie becomes governor? Is that what you're saying? Probably. Oh, vote for Ern. Skirty. God bless him. This is what happens when people do drugs for too long. I don't know about that. He's just really, he's on one. He's got to find himself the right judge in that sense. And probably, he could probably make a pretty strong argument. Like, really, how much money do you got to spend, right? It's probably what it comes down to, sadly. When you take a look of all the crazy shit that you only come, you become aware to after it has happened. And a lot of these things, whether you're in the UK, Australia, or North America, these individuals that you never think that would get out of jail in place for people for lesser crimes. And it really undermines the whole process to begin with, whether they need to free up space, whether they're too busy prioritizing, implementing new nonsense narratives from whatever background or interest specifically you may have. So I've seen crazier things. I don't know. My only problem with Rex having a gun is now you got Rex with a gun. Not that I'd ever be... I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about Rex having a gun and finding the justification to take it up a notch and really like take over like a shopping mall or something like that. And hold people hostage in order to get something else that he requires, he wants. Maybe it's full disclosure on alien abductions or something. Who knows, for example. But now you got a gun, he can get there. I'm not sure if that'll be happening. Oh shit. I'm just exploring in my mind, imagining. Where's he? Oh, who's he talking to? Let me see. I gotta read down. I'm falling behind here. Hold on. You forgot what you learned 4 years ago. I am and never was guilty. So why are you telling me? Why don't you take a link, number one? Take a link. Rex. Listen, I agree. It's the craziest fucking thing, and I'm never about to tell somebody that they haven't had the legal system fuck them over. I think what everybody's problem with it is that you didn't provide at the time any sort of defense for yourself. You just said, okay, give me whatever you're going to give me. Like there's no point in time where being convicted of a sex offense against a child is going to fucking go over well, especially if you didn't do it. And you didn't provide any defense at that point in time. But you had a history of romancing all of these young teenage girls, which isn't abnormal, but it's typical for a particular genre of individuals who don't like to grow up and like to hang around and prey on young teenage girls, and parents get their backs up over that. And just because somebody else does it doesn't make it okay for you. Dunning-Kruger says, you're never getting off that registry, damn you. Like, you've had every opportunity to come out and say what your defense is. And let me tell you, Rex, this is YouTube. You can get up here and pretty much say anything, man, and you will find people to back you up. You cannot find anybody to back you up on this. Maybe Tommy, but I don't even think he understands. The difficulty in backing up anything that you say historically is revolved around the fact that you're lying about everything all the time at any one time. So it's difficult for people to build that trust with you that you want, you want right away, immediately. You don't give anybody a reason to trust you in that sense. You want people to believe that you were unlawfully or this is wrong in some sense. You don't give anybody a reason to believe in that sense. You pled guilty. Rex, show us your gun permit. Rex doesn't need a gun permit because he built it himself. He's grandfathered in, probably. It's over 303 and Bird making it happen, all of it. So you shouldn't have it. If you've got your rights restored, you have no problem getting a job then, right? Your father, like, you just missed a real chance with Biden and Obama going through and all of this DEI and bullshit equality in universities. They would have just given you a goddamn liberal arts degree and you could have really made something out of that with little effort, bro. You know, you could have really went somewhere in the last few years, but you decided not to. You could have embarrassed yourself in a public setting. Oh, God, cradle robber. I don't know what you're saying. Show me one of yours. What? Where's King Sir Band? King Sir Band says, Rex has been waiting for anyone like 303 and Bird to come along to gaslight so he can get him myself off the registry. I don't know if that's going to work. King Sir Ben says, Rex, you needed somebody to raise awareness on you so you could be a victim to get yourself off the registry. So what are you saying, that he's using Burden 303? I think there's an element of truth to that. You know, what's all going to happen when the judge sees those guns? Can we see those guns? I don't know if you do have them, bro. We don't think Tommy did anything. I think people just like to troll Rex to get you all wound up, because what's really happening is you consider Tommy to be your property. And even if you were in that position of like ward over him, and you're not doing him any favors. You're abusing him. You're making him cook and clean for you. Take care of the animals. Rub your feet. Actually, that's a good question. Ask Rex that. Why does this pedo want to be off the registry so badly? Y'all should ask yourselves that question. Oh, I do. I don't know how. Rex, how would you go about doing that? Like, personally? Is that what you're ultimately after? You want to take a link, Rex? Come on up here and let us know. Why don't you come up here and take a victory lap, bro? Come up here and take a victory lap and talk about it. Dunning, that's not very nice. So the transcripts are being submitted from yesterday's hearing to the district attorney's office. There's enough evidence in them to ensure the registered will remain on the registry for life. Yeah, sadly. You can't come all of these years later and provide a new updated defense. unless you're going to introduce some sort of outstanding evidence. Look at how panicked you are being proven to be liars. Too easy to see the imagination overdrive. Well, it's hard not to have your imaginations in overdrive in here. Rex, you're being so obscure in your communications. You know, I would have to expect from the judge's standpoint, probably, if you feel in danger and you can prove and show evidence that the people that you're, requesting the restraining orders on have been in your vicinity with the intent to do something, well, that something becomes relevant, and she's probably going to err on the side of caution and give it to you. That's what you've won, right? But it's very difficult then to go and convince anybody out here that you have a victory, Rex, when you're the one antagonizing everybody to begin with. You're the one really wanting it to look a certain way because you're setting it up to try to use it as leverage to get yourself off of the registry, which if is fine. But I mean, I don't know if it's going to work, especially in the hearts of people. He doesn't have any guns. What do you got him hanging out in the bus? Up on the wall? Under the seats? No, Rex, I've never seen Rex with a gun. I've seen him look at guns through a case before. Well, it's all fine to claim that you're innocent, and that's okay, Rex, but we've known you for 7+ years now, and you haven't brought any of that evidence. In fact, Desert Sentinel had to go around you, circumnavigate the man that should have all the evidence backing up his claims. Because why would you come forward without any evidence and just claim you're innocent? You know that's not good enough for people, Rex. Don't expect it to be good enough for people. And you end up wanting something to look a certain way when it, in fact, is something completely different. You have to do better. You want us to give you the benefit of the doubt all the time. That's a problem. There's nothing wrong with fighting for your rights or fighting because you think that you've been wrongfully convicted, but it's all just lip service, it seems, with you. See, you're just lining yourself up to try to, throw a one-liner at somebody else. Rex, we've all well documented it. And you want us to be convinced that we're interpreting it in a way that is completely different to what it means. That's not true. That's the problem. That's where you spin. You've looked into the gun laws, and Rex, even if he creates his own, it's still illegal, and 10 years jail if caught with a PMF, a pneumatic weapon. He waved around guns more than once. I don't know if I've ever seen him. Maybe he has. I'd like to see that clip. I know he's talked about it. What? Really? Okay. Hold on. Oh shit. Let me see. I got to take you down for a second. Got to take Ernie down. Share screen. $36.05.
Let's put this show together. Like I said, I actually am rather fucked up right now. The entire house is on alert. There's 2 other people in the neighborhood with Ninja 360s. That is an alert.
Ninja 360s, is that a gun? Is that I'm not sure. I'm an idiot. Let me see.
Okay, that much I can tell you is true. Yeah, that's because there was an additional violation today. Regardless of the outcome, it is dated a strike, which would be considered retaliation today, which happened after the hearing. Okay? Um, Now you decide whether or not it be your reality, and nobody can touch it. No one can understand it. Nobody can figure it out. Anyway, um, I'm going to be as unbiased as possible, truthful as possible. I will reveal to you the absolute military secret to which I carry. Um, any auditor, anybody can use this. I will reveal this, okay? However, I am going to be as unbiased as possible and tell you as close to the real story as possible. Because there is an inverse effect of a TRO. I cannot be vindictive. I cannot be retaliatory. And I'm not. I'm going to tell you my honest thoughts about this. It's probably the most revealing show I have ever made. And I have gotten appropriate. You want to know something? I'll double this. You see, it's half gone already. Now, I guarantee you that Tommy was driving. I guarantee you that I was far drunk prior to coming home with just as much. I can also guarantee you that I did not spend a dime on my own drinks. That is absolutely truthful. I have not spent one dime on my own drinks. There was people that felt I needed a drink. Okay, now there's a poll. I want everyone to vote. Okay.
Well, already I can tell that he seemed a bit drunk there. 46:43. Okay, in the background I had to download the transcript from Rex this morning and ran it through the analyzer. So just give it a second. You want 46:33 here? 46:33, my friend. Okay.
Fucking court order. Whatever. I'm not fucking around. There's no question of ownership. And I have no problem emptying this into your groin. Any of it.
Yeah, that was a gun. Yeah, that's a gun, Jim Rhodes. You're going to empty this gun into his groin. There goes your complete argument for the judge, bro. Hey, Rex, you're telling me that you're terrified of the boys and you're flashing around this ghost gun? Is that what it is? You got yourself a ghost gun, which is even more sketch, bro. That's jail time for you. You are hammered. You're pissed drunk. You're pissed drunk. Pumping down that Crown Royal, fine Canadian whiskey. And you're swinging around a firearm like this is the Wild West. Oh, you are going to lose badly. Oh my God. I back it up. He shows a rifle. He shows another two guns. Fuck, I didn't see any of this.
But that's going to stay right there.
Yeah, he did show a rifle. He did show a rifle right there. Absolutely, he did. That's gonna stay right there. We'll go back a little bit. Let's see this. Get your screen recorders ready, friends. I wish I could zoom in on this. Fucking fuck. Hold on. Let me download this before it goes anywhere. Rex, you drunken son of a bitch. Why wasn't that doing anything? Hold on. Postpone. Let me see. One moment, please. Download at 480 quality. No need to get fancy. So hold on just a little bit here.
Come here, give me your nose. You got a goober. Give me you're not gonna give me your nose? I'll get that goober. I will get that goober. Because you're a blonde cat with those great big goobers in your nose. You look horrible. It bothers me. I love you. I love my baby. Yes, you're a good boy. All right, so there is a couple of things I promised to, which is totally neutral. Trolls can use this, and auditors can use it almost immediately, especially if they're arrested. For whatever reason, if you have this, oh my God, fucking no!
See, already he's pissed off. He's all upset. That's the whiskey talking.
Oh my God, fucking no! I'm sorry, this is gonna stay right here for Hell no! But that's gonna stay right there. You wanna know something? So something else. Because quite honestly, these fucking idiots. These fucking idiots. I'm not fucking around. Fucking court order. Whatever. I'm not fucking around.
Yeah. Wow. Rex. So here we have two clear shots. There's the rifle. There's the handgun. He's not fucking around, y'all. Rex, don't buy any more whiskey, brother. Whiskey is not your friend. Reggie's in the background pissing him off in the bus. Next thing you know, he's throwing heavies and he's flexing. Maybe he's a Crip. He's up there making diss tracks on the internet. Blacka. Dude, Guido, absolutely. Rex, how in the hell are you going to be walking the fuck around? How are you going to be walking around here saying that you've won anything when you're up on the internet flexing over Burden 303 with guns that you're not supposed to have, dude? They'll throw you right in fucking jail. Meanwhile, these you wanted to take them and start all of this by taking them to court over a restraining order for a video. When you end up getting drunk celebrating over your victory, you go and you commit some sort of violation of your special status that's going to end up putting you behind fucking bars, man. No matter what. This is the trump card. Well, I'll tell you right now, Rex, that you don't have any. You're not. I don't think Colorado has that. Now, what is it that we're not seeing here? Are these Tommies? Here's a quote. Yeah, I don't think you want to be on the business end of that. I don't know. Is it an airsoft? Is it an airsoft rifle? Is there something I'm not seeing here? So I know in Texas, I know that Earl David Warden and sex offenders are allowed to own, for self-defense purposes, are allowed to own a single shot in that sense. Like a black powder gun. Good luck lying. Unless it's, can Tommy have those guns? I wonder who those guns are registered to. Rex, all the boys have to do is call the sheriffs and let them know and give them these screenshots that here's Rex Fredrickson all up in the internet flexing over everybody with his ghost guns. They'll fucking SWAT you, man. They'll SWAT that place. Yeah, that's this is no black powder pistol, no. That looks like a semi-automatic 9mm. Look at Rex putting on a real, hey, good to see you, Quillfish. He's putting on a real gun safety show here on his live stream, isn't he? Oh, Tommy's in the background egging all of this on. Tommy, are those your guns, man? Or are those Rex's? So we got the rifle. Looks like it has a scope on it. Probably just for protection. Let me see. What is he? I gotta get this clip again. So I'm not going to interrupt this. I want to hear this.
There is a couple of things I promised to, which is totally neutral. Trolls can use this, and auditors can use it almost immediately, especially if they're arrested.
for whatever reason, if you have this, oh my God, fucking no.
I'm sorry, this is gonna stay right here for,
Hell no. But that's going to stay right there. You want to know something? So something else. Because quite honestly, these fucking idiots. These fucking idiots. I'm not fucking around. Fucking court order. Whatever. I'm not fucking around. There's no question of ownership. And I have no problem emptying this into your groin. Any of it.
So there you go, Judge. He says there's no question about ownership. He owns them. Oh my God. Flame Katie just starting to learn. Keep going. You're almost woke. Hey. Easy, Tiger. See how unstable his emotions are? Well, I think it's the whiskey, though, to be fair. Whiskey does that to a man, especially that's not used to drinking. He is swinging at the fences. Oh, shit. I'm sorry, dude. Seriously, if I didn't see that, I would never have known. So hold on here for a second. Now that we have him up here, I went and let me read this to you. Oh shit, wrong one. Hold on. Analyze this transcript of Rex Fredrickson. Below is an analysis of the provided transcript attributed to Rex Fredrickson. The transcript appears to be a stream of consciousness monologue discussing a court case, personal anecdotes, and various grievances. I will evaluate it against YouTube's community guidelines, Colorado state law, and U.S. federal law, focusing on potential violations or implications. Additionally, I'll identify the timestamp, bizarre and outlandish. I can't wait to do this one. I'll fucking download it. Oh, I'll have to get it in a bit. Hold on. So let me see. Let me scroll down and see what we got here. Harassment, bullying. The speaker is repeatedly insults. So earlier this morning, over on Rex's stream, he had his stream going. It's not this particular one. I'm looking for some things, talking points that he had. The speaker repeatedly insults others, meaning you, Rex. Example, worth less than the air it takes in order to speak it. At 1651, you're a pretender, dude. At 3242, it goes on, threats and violence, refers to firearms. So Rex is talking about he can have a fucking Holitzer in the front yard if he wants. I think that might mean howitzer. At 1802, and road rage, 235, might be flagged as promoting violence. Let's see, some misinformation claims about Second Amendment rights. Example, there is no Second Amendment regulation anymore, he says. Oh, really? There's no Second Amendment regulation anymore, Rex? That's at timestamp 1720. That's legally inaccurate and could be considered misinformation if presented as fact. So illegal activity. The speaker, Rex, admits to drinking Crown Royal before driving home with Tommy. That's at timestamp 1603 to 1615, which could imply intoxication-related content, potentially violating YouTube's guidelines on harmful activities. Regards to Colorado state law, the speaker claims David and Robert engaged in threatening behavior, including driving by his house and using a drone to observe him. If this is true, it could align with Colorado's stalking statute. The speaker's own actions, posting about Robert's truck on YouTube, might be considered as harassment intended to provoke. Absolutely. All of this is intended to provoke David and Bird. So let's go and see. Contempt of court. The speaker alleges David and Robert violated court orders, which would fall under, okay, substantiated. Firearm laws. The claim that there is no Second Amendment regulation anymore and no permit is required in Colorado is partially incorrect. Colorado allows open carry without a permit, but requires a concealed carry permit. And felons are generally barred unless rights are restored. Speaker claims all rights were restored in North Dakota and cites a Supreme Court case, possibly referring to New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin, 2022. Federal law, 18 U.S.C. 922G, prohibits felons from possessing firearms unless rights are explicitly restored by the state of conviction, which varies by jurisdiction. The assertion of unrestricted rights are exaggerated. So, bizarre and outlandish claims. Rex, I can have an effing howitzer in my front yard if I want because there is no restrictions. There is no Second Amendment regulation anymore. It goes back to the original intent. These are quotes. Upon getting out of prison in Texas, they're only supposed to give you a 6-shooter and a $20 gold piece. I made the lawyer's hour and I made the chart giving the judge a choice in what the legal fee and sanction would be. Litigants don't typically dictate legal fees, Rex. I was pretty sure that this was YouTube related, so I went on YouTube and I says, "Hey, guess what I found? A junk car." So 42 keeps up showing up just randomly, 42 all over today, and it has been for some reason. So here's another quote. A Balance actually logged in with his real name out of Canada. Yeah, fucking Rex. Yeah, Amber P, you're correct. That was part of it. Wasn't part of the complaint against Bird and 303 is that they had guns? Well, yeah, look at this fucking drunken idiot online flashing his guns, talking about shooting them into David's groin. Empty it into your groin. That's funny stuff, actually. Oh my God, I can't believe you did that. Sorry, you have a guest on the show. You don't want to come up and talk about your rights? I would have thought that you would have wanted to share your story and how exactly your 2A rights were restored. Hello, Susan McMillan. Good day, UK and England. Good to see you, Connie. Not in Colorado. Where is this in Colorado, may I ask? Fort Collins, Mary. He's just outside of Fort Collins. He recorded himself drunk, holding 2 guns in a threatening manner. Absolutely, Lindy. Yeah, he's in Fort Collins, Mary, if you're looking to call the sheriff's department. Yeah. Somebody in here could probably give you that number if you're that concerned. Good to see you, Amby. Oh my God. Stay healthy. People are getting sick. Chart analysis. That's why Burden 303 stay on his neck. That's right. Look at him. Because now they've got every reason to go put a restraining order back on Rex in that sense. So then what's he going to do? He's not going to be able to talk about it, which is going to drive him nuts. Man, I can't get over that. What a stupid move, Rex. Oh shit. His address is known? Yeah, it is. If you go up, if you just search Rex Allen Fredrickson on the Colorado Sex Offender Registry, everything will pop up. All you have to do is call the number right there and let them know that, hey, dude, this RSO has an armory filled with guns, and he's threatening people on the internet. I wouldn't probably want to fire them, cheeky. Oh, everybody throw some prayers together for Quillfish. She needs some of those healing vibes. Some of those positive thoughts. Your diverticulitis. Oh my God. The drunk flashing guns. That's responsible gun ownership right there. Oh, exactly. Especially talking himself up, how he's not afraid to use it and put that clip in your groin. It's not even take you to the range and show you how to use a weapon properly. It's like, fuck, I'm not afraid to turn this on you and just unload this clip right into your testicles. Yeah, if anybody wants to let the sheriff's department know, there you go. I'm sure they're going to get an influx of calls. I'm absolutely certain of it, because that's just the way things go. Rex, you having guns are a concern, man. Anybody. Well, all they have to know is that there's a felon with guns, and you've got it, and he's threatening the boys. He's gloating. I'd be really scared in that sense. Rex is going to drive by with Tommy driving. Yeah, if you're wondering, absolutely it was. He probably got distracted. Had oil on the stove. The next thing you know, it started sizzling and splatting and transferring that heat, and it flashed over. Yeah, I don't know what's gotten into him. He's decided to hit the bottle. Whiskey's his choice. He really wants to live out this cowboy dream. No, he doesn't know anything about owning guns at all. He was claiming to have third-degree burns on one of his hands, right? Yeah, he showed. Listen, yeah, I know. I saw that this morning. He's telling you he's got plastic all around it, and there's no plastic in front of your face. It's just his hand. He's saying he's got blisters between his fingers. There's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing there, other than his hideous, unwashed hand. Has he for at least a year? I guess I hadn't noticed. I've just noticed in this past week he was mentioning it, and you could tell a little bit. Just he seemed a little bit more drunk. Yeah, that one I just uploaded.
Self-defense, you're damn right. Two by four is self-defense. And the reason why I'm fucking triggered right now is because a fucking alarm went off outside. That's not something that often happens here. I got a fucking violation dated on the 20th, which is today. Time stamped? Yes. Fuck. I need this better handled. You know how many drill sergeants will sit there and pound and pound and pound that how many people have died that close to their fucking weapon? Freaked out? Yeah, I am.
You're freaked out. How is this guy freaked out? He's going on about how he's trained. Listen, he's not trained to do anything with that weapon. He puts it beside him and pretends that he's like a Navy SEAL.
I've got people around me, though. They know. I've notified the neighbors of what's happened. And, I'll get to you in a second. This is going to be a longer show than 10 minutes because I haven't even finished. You know what? Let me go ahead and get to the show. I understand, Beaver. Okay? Give me a second. I'm not drinking this. This is the last of what I have, actually. So I'm saving it. All right. The reason why it wasn't on web is because of the previous trial. That much I need to get out. Okay?
Just give me one moment, friends. I'm going to take a little side journey here. Not side journey, excuse me. Why does that look different? I don't know. Oh, I know. Just a second. The fuck is going on here? Let me take this. I'm going to copy this transcript. Copy. I'm going to make a TXT file out of it. I'm going to save it. I'm going to call it Rex3. Rex3. Save. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to go up to Grok. And I'm going to have Grok analyze this particular text file. I'm going to say analyze this live stream where RSO Rex Fredrickson tries to antagonize, intimidate, and Robert and David over the internet by showing two guns auto okay. So I'm having Grok analyze this quickly. And then I'm going to ask Grok what the number is to the sheriff's department, and then we're going to go over that. Hold on, let me press play. Let's see what he is really irate.
Let me go ahead and get to the show. I understand, Beaver. Okay? Give me a second. I'm not drinking this. This is the last of what I have, actually. So I'm saving it. Um, even finished. You know what? Let me go ahead and get to the show. I understand, Beaver. Okay. Give me a second. I'm not drinking this. This is the last of what I have.
So here we have Rex holding, what a classic shot. Along with those guns, he's showing a 3/4 empty bottle of Crown Royal, great Canadian whiskey. Right there. You're going to save that last little bit so that when he sees David in 303, he can go put a cap in their ass. Now take a look at that. And if they start running, he's going to pull this rifle out, look down that scope, and probably take out their kneecaps. Look at this. Booze, guns. Fuck, he's showing all of this on his channel, dude. Oh, he ended up passing out. Later, he would claim that he needed to get drunk because he hadn't been able to sleep. Yeah, you think so, William? I don't know. Well, even if they are, does it matter at this point? It still means that you know, it's still relevant. Like, we don't know. Nobody out there can really verify whether they're real, whether they're in working order or not. Does it matter? They're in his possession, right? There's something in possession that draws questions, so the sheriffs need to go and verify whether or not he's fucking around. He's got to have to find out. This guy, I cannot believe Rex. He is brilliant. Yeah. Who knows? Who really knows at the end of the day?
Have actually, so I'm saving it. All right. The reason why it wasn't on web is because of the previous trial. That much I need to get out. Okay. It was because somebody had broadcasted that trial.
So I'll tell you why I don't think that this rifle was a toy. It's because if you go back and rewind, you can tell through how heavy it is by how he's handling it. It looks like it has some legitimate weight to it. And when it hit the floor of the bus, you could hear that it was consistent with something that had weight to it, as opposed to just a plastic toy that would probably, just fall over if it wouldn't lean up on its own weight against something like that. There's a bit of a sound to it that rang true in my ears that was an actual weapon rather than a plastic toy. Now, the handgun, I'm not taking any chances. You could be flashing a toy. I mean, that's your problem at that point in time. Hopefully I don't have a gun because I'm not going to be too worried, Rex. You're going to have to draw, boy.
Under investigation. It's another contempt of court and something. I haven't researched that well enough, other than the fact that I do know when they abandoned cameras in the court, and that was the Lindbergh trial. Okay, that's the research I've done on that so far. But nonetheless, they do have the ability to close the court to internet, but not to a observer. Now, this brings up...
Yeah, that's a good point too. Body armor doesn't work on crossbows, especially with the tips his Rambo ass is using. He probably used those explosive tips on his bows. He wouldn't even have the strength. Well, I guess on a crossbow it's different.
Another problem, which is actually indigenous
you can get a
to
crank.
Fort Collins City court. Currently, they have a completely Stargate court. There's no observers. There's no anything. You have to check in. You have to give your full name. etc., so forth, which is very strange. Now that COVID has been completed, it's over. The COVID thing is over. So there's no reason for the Fort Collins City Court to remain as it is. How
That's a good point too, because the threat to law enforcement is they're wearing the body armor. So make sure that you mention that to when you call in the sheriff's department. You guarantee that when the judge sees us, they won't be happy? No. Oh, Williams, come on now. That's a brilliant movie. First Blood.
However, it is not deliberately intentional.
That
There's two
compound,
things.
that compound was so shit. You're like, oh fuck, but it didn't matter when you're a kid. If I remember correctly, I think that compound bow folded up, didn't it? Wasn't it like a foldable compound bow, some piece of garbage with some shitty draw strength, probably? I'm not even sure if that bow actually exists, but you don't generally want a bow that collapses.
Happening. One, they are preparing in order to remodel that court. That court already does have, let's say you're homeless and you have to stow your backpack and your personal belongings when you come in, and it includes this.
All right, they're Drunky the Clown. Hold on here. Let me clear my throat. Let me read this to you. So here is the analysis of the provided transcript from this video you're watching of Rex, attributed to Rex Fredrickson. The transcript appears to be a stem of consciousness monologue discussing a court case. Hold on here. Is this the right one I want? Oh, here's the one. So excuse me. Based on the transcript provided, I'll analyze this live stream. So let me go down. So context from the transcript. This particular transcript depicts a chaotic live stream where the speaker, presumably Rex Fredrickson, is heavily intoxicated. He rants about a court case and references firearms in a threatening manner. Oh, fuck. This AI is brilliant. The AI even picked up that you were heavily intoxicated. Can you fucking believe this? You can't fucking get one over on it. Oh, shit. So at 46:53, I have no problem emptying this into your groin, any of it. Let's see how accurate it was. 46:53, the timestamp was.
Hell no. But that's going to stay right there. You want to know something? So something else. Because quite honestly, these fucking idiots. These fucking idiots. I'm not fucking around. Fucking court order. Whatever. I'm not fucking around. There's no question of ownership. And I have no problem emptying this into your groin.
Yeah, so that was pretty much right on. There's a big difference between Ernie's transcripts. Ernie's, believe it or not, don't have a whole lot in the way of violations in front of him. It's just him up there telling embellished family stories in that sense, which can be funny. But with regards to potential criminality, Rex Fredrickson's are filled with them. Filled with them. It's unbelievable. Rex, you need to develop some Ernie-like charisma. So it goes on to say, 4708, self-defense. You're damn right. 2x4 is self-defense. It goes on saying, the speaker mentions being triggered by an alarm and having people run around me aware of the situation. 4723.
And the reason why I'm fucking triggered right now is because a fucking alarm went off outside. That's not something that often happens here. I got a fucking violation dated on the 20th, which is today. Time stamped? Yes. Fuck. I need this better handed. You know how many drill sergeants will sit there and pound and pound and pound that how many people have died that close to their fucking weapon? Freaked out? Yeah, I am. I've got people around me though. They know. I've notified the neighbors of what's happened. And I'll get to you in a second. This is going to be a longer show than 10 minutes.
He's like Clint Eastwood up there when he's full of whiskey, isn't he? He's got his guns, got his whiskey, he's got his ideology, all his advice for you. Chad R, thank you very much. It's very generous of you, darling. I really appreciate that. Oh my gosh. $10 super chat. Super sticker, darling. Thank you, thank you. Hold on. We got to give you one of these. That's a baseline for you. So it goes on to say, well, the transcript doesn't explicitly confirm Rex physically displayed firearms on camera. Exactly. No clear example, no clear statement like I'm showing my rifle now. The user's prompt asserts he showed a rifle and a semi-automatic handgun. How the fuck did it know that? How did it know that? While the transcript doesn't explicitly confirm Rex physically displayed firearms on camera, example, no clear statement like I'm showing my rifle now, the user's prompt asserts he showed a rifle and a semi-automatic handgun. For this analysis, I'll assume this occurred during the stream, possibly implied by the emptying this into your groin comment, which could refer to a firearm. Yeah, you got it. The stated intent is to antagonize and intimidate Robert and David, which aligns with the aggressive tone and references to self-defense and violence. The transcript also suggests emotional instability, intoxication, in a context of ongoing legal disputes. Now, I want to remind you, Rex, 18 U.S.C. 922 G subrule 1 reminds us all that it's unlawful for any person who has been convicted of or in any court of a crime punishable by imprisonment for a term exceeding 1 year, for example, a felony, to possess a firearm or ammunition. This applies to both rifles and handguns. Now, does that apply to Rex? I would think it does, but any court crime punishable by imprisonment for a term. So if your punishment was exceeding 1 year. If Rex is a felon, as claimed, his possession of any firearm, shown on stream or otherwise, violates federal law. Penalties can include up to 10 years in prison for more under certain conditions, per 18 U.S.C. 924. Additionally, if Rex is registered sex offender, this status doesn't inherently expand the firearm prohibition beyond felony status, but certain sex offenses, convictions, for example, those involving minors or violence, could classify as felonies, reinforcing the ban. Federal law doesn't distinguish between displaying a firearm on a live stream versus physical possession. Both count as possession. So Colorado law aligns with federal restrictions under CRS 18-12-108. A person convicted of a felony, whether it's Colorado or elsewhere, is prohibited from possessing a firearm or other weapon. This includes rifles and semi-automatic handguns. Violation is a class 6 felony, punishable by 12 to 18 months in prison and or a fine of $1,000 to $100,000, neither of which Rex has. Colorado also has a self-defense exception in some contexts. Example, CRS 18-1-704 allows reasonable force to defend oneself, but this doesn't override the possession ban for felons. Rex's claim of self-defense at 4708 wouldn't legally justify possessing or displaying firearms if he is a felon. Furthermore, CRS 18-6-801.5 could apply if the display was part of a domestic violence or harassment context, potentially escalating charges. Though the transcript lacks clear evidence tying this to Robert or David directly. Well, it lacks clear evidence of tying this directly to Robert or David. If Rex brandished the firearms in a threatening manner, example, emptying into your groin, this could violate CRS 18-3-206, menacing, a class 5 felony when a deadly weapon is involved, carrying 1 to 3 years in prison. Intoxication, while evident, isn't a defense and might aggravate sentencing. So, YouTube's policies, the firearms policy, YouTube allows firearm content, displaying firearms in a way that intends to intimidate or harass, bans that. Content promoting illegal possession or use of firearms, if Rex is a felon showing guns he can't legally own, violates this rule. It also violates the harassment and bullying rule, Rex. Content that targets individuals like Robert and David with intent to intimidate or provide, especially with threats of violence, i.e. emptying this into your groin, breaches this policy. The aggressive tone and personal references amplify this. Now, violent or dangerous acts, displaying firearms, Rex, in a threatening context, even if not fired, could be flagged as promoting violence or unsafe behavior. If reported, YouTube would likely remove this stream, issue a strike, or terminate Rex's channel, depending on prior violations. Intoxication and chaotic delivery wouldn't excuse the content, but might reduce perceived intent. Okay.
Because I haven't even finished. You know what? Let me go ahead and get to the show. I understand, Beaver. Okay? Give me a second. I'm not drinking this. This is the last of what I have, actually. So I'm saving it. All right. The reason why it wasn't on web is because of the previous trial. That much I need to get out. Okay? It was because somebody had broadcasted that trial that's under investigation. It's another contempt of court and something. I haven't researched that well enough, other than the fact that I do know when they abandoned cameras in the court, and that was the Lindbergh trial. Okay, that's the research I've done on that so far. But nonetheless, they do have the ability to close the court to internet, but not to a observer. Now, this brings up another problem, which is actually indigenous to Fort Collins City Court. Currently, they have.
So, Jim, I'm not sure how that went. I'm not sure how much, if any, jail time he spent. I know he was on probation forever. I'd have to go back and check that paperwork, Jim. I don't know. Let me know if you come across it before I do.
A completely Stargate court. There's no observers. There's no anything. You have to check in. You have to give your full name, etc., so forth, which is very strange. now that COVID has been completed. It's over. The COVID thing is over. So there's no reason for the Fort Collins City Court to remain as it is. However, it is not.
I'll take a look for that in the background. You're saying per the probation order in his SA case, they were indeed felonies. No matter what you were sentenced with. Okay. So that is the case of Rex Allen Fredrickson, Real Crime Investigations, 851. Just a second. Timestamp 851, you say?
Not have contact with anybody under the age of 18, not including his family. The defendant shall not have contact with anybody under the age of 18, not including his family. And that defendant is ordered to obtain a drug alcohol evaluation, comply with the recommendations herein, and defendant is ordered to complete sex offender counseling through a counselor approved by probation, along with all of the other requirements of probation for 48 months. And there you go. That's
So, probation for 48 months, it was a felony. Let me see. Shall not, right there. Right here. Shall not. That's, you don't get any harder than that. Shall not possess, or shall refrain from possessing a firearm or other dangerous weapons. Rex? Let me just upload that for everybody. Oh, I got to take one down. I don't want that one. Don't want that one. I don't want that one down. I don't want that one down. I'll take Jimbo down. Here we go. So everybody here can see it. Number 3, shall refrain from possessing a firearm or other dangerous weapons. Class 2 felony. Well, that's a bit of a problem, Rex, because here we have you, when you get drunk, you like to flex with your rifles, listen to gangster rap music, pretend that you're Dr. Dre, and try to intimidate David and Bird on the internets. And that's a violation of the third stipulation on your 2003 conviction of aggravated SA. shall refrain from possessing a firearm or other dangerous weapons. Well, that solves that there, Sexy Rexy. Oh, shit. Where's that sheriff's number again? People will be going nuts. Oh, boy, Rex, you really get yourself into shit.
Deliberately intentional. There's two things happening. One, they are preparing in order to remodel that court.
So, I don't know what I'm going to do about this live stream. We started off, it was supposed to be about Ernie. We did a little bit of Ernie, but it went into Rex shooting himself in the foot. I'm going to have to carve this up, make a second video, and I'll release it titled something different later. I'm going to have to change it. I didn't expect to go here. I didn't expect to find Rex in violation of his court order. Fuck, I didn't. You rewind a little bit. I'd never seen Rex ever, flash a weapon. And here he is all hammered up the other day, talking about his court case, flexing with weapons in his hand. 970-416-1985 is the Larimer County Sheriff's Office. Part of me feels kind of bad. I'm like, it's funny in a way, but I kind of feel bad for fucking somebody over like this. I'll leave that up to you guys. Don't do what you need to do. But I mean, I can't have him walking around the internet bragging about David and Bird in that sense. Like, first of all, so, hold on. What can we do with this? Let me ask... Hold on, I'm going to press play. Let me ask Grok a question.
That court already does have... Let's say you're homeless and you have to stow your backpack and your personal belongings when you come in. Or, and it includes this, okay, if you come in with a firearm, they actually have a locker for you to put it in. So there is so many ways that the Fort Collins City Court is in compliance. It is ridiculous that the effort that they have taken in order to make that publicly available. Okay, and I don't give a rat's ass about my southern accent. And they've gone to ridiculous lengths.
So what is Rex going to say next? What do you think he's going to say next? Is it only stipulation for those 48 months that he not own within that 48 months a weapon? Like after his probation is done, he can go back to owning a weapon, or how long does that stick for? What do you guys think? Yeah. This is one of those words he loves to be different about.
It would only take a reminder that the fifth plane of the court is abandoned and blocked.
So the sheriff knows now, Mary? Well, I won't tell Rex. Rex won't have anything to worry about, of course. Is he on the SOR? Yeah, he's on the SOR, William. So if he's still on the SOR, but it doesn't say something directly tied to that, William. It has more to do with the fact that he's a felon and what crime he committed that ties it to him. And there's a question about it being time served and being a felon. If you're convicted of a felony, that would make you a felon, right? That's my interpretation of it. But because there's two things, because he didn't serve any jail time for it, and he was just sentenced to 48 months probation, do they consider it lesser? So even if at the end of it, maybe I don't think he's allowed to have them, like personally, I don't think so. Like, you still have every right to call and have that checked and have him checked out and be updated by the sheriff as a matter of public safety. But it then goes into crossing the line. There's more than one thing happening here, because he's intimidating and antagonizing David and Bird, a person who he's pretending to be afraid of, by going online and contradicting himself and his claims. And now he's harassing Bird and 303. He's menacing. He's doing over the internet what he kept complaining about David doing to him behind the scenes at the grocery store, by, tapping his gun and insinuating, menacing. He's going about it in a menacing way. That's what Rex is doing. Yeah, that's probably a felony too, but that wasn't a complete year, Lindy. So there's time issues with that. I'm just trying to be the devil's advocate. There's little finite things in this that don't line up with the interpretation of the law directly, so you kind of have to go with it. No matter what, there's a right to be concerned, because with everything that we do know, we know that he lies on top of that. But as far as our interpretation of it goes, he shouldn't be in possession of those firearms. And it lists it several places. So that's up to the sheriff's department, the DA. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a lot of little caveats, especially since he's in a different state. See, that's a good point too. If he is licensed, why isn't he open carrying? Exercising his Second Amendment right in that sense. Because I think that, so the answer to that might be, is that there's a difference. So in his situation, he might have a right to defend himself, which means that he needs to register something, and he needs to keep it locked up in a safe or something other. He can't just be walking around with it. Like, he doesn't have his full rights. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I mean, it's a solid question, but I think there's levels to it. Yeah, Michelle's saying he can't possess a weapon, period. Okay, look at this. Now we know you don't need to be licensed. You're not a dealer. Okay. All right. So, Rex, we've got 3 images of you that are interesting there, Rex. We've got this one. We've got that one. And we've got this one. How is that not antagonizing David and Bird?
By their requirement in order to give all of their information, even in order to talk to the clerk's office, and you have to wait in a separate waiting room. You cannot witness anything that's actually going on, which is really strange. Okay. At any rate, that's a separate issue, and I'm actually pursuing that slowly, diplomatically, just simply seeing if anyone else agrees with me that the fifth plane is a bait.
The fifth plane. Oh, holy fuck. Is he going to start talking about where spirits come from? I hope so. That's the whole reason I watch you drunk. Hold on, Katie. Here's Katie. Just a second. I'm going to read this quick and you can give me an update. So, steps to report Rex for violating a court order. Obtain the video. David and Bird should secure a copy of the live stream where Rex allegedly intimidated them. If it's still on YouTube, they can download it using a screen recorder. A third-party tool goes on to saying that. Transcribe key parts. I've got all that for you. Preserve the context. Note the date. Transcripts violation timestamp. We got all that. Verify the court order. They need to confirm the exact terms of Rex's court order. That's kind of what we're in the process of doing now. See, there's several things here. This could be a restraining order under CRS 18-1-1001 or conditions of his RSO status. They likely have a copy from the court case. Example, you could probably just call and ask the sheriff. They'd be able to tell you right away. If the order prohibits Rex from contacting them, okay, let's go on. Anyway, hello, Katie. I won't go on yet.
Hello,
I'll talk about this in a
AD.
second.
Hello,
What's
everybody.
going on?
TGIF. Okay, first of all, don't ever think that I am not telling the truth. When I said that motherfucker,
Girl, I apologize to you.
thank
I
you.
apologize. You
Can't
came
even
through.
fly, okay, but I also love the fact how like y'all are like, there's got to be a loophole. What are we missing? Like, because like we're thinking you cannot be this fucking retarded, right?
Yeah, there's something that he can't be this stupid about. Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm waiting for it.
We're just sitting there scratching our heads like,
I can't think of it. Like, I mean,
you
I can't
are
find it.
retarded, sir. You are this retarded, okay?
But granted, if there is one, he's not letting us know. You think that he would be waving that around in everybody's faces saying, it's right here. This is what allows me to have it. So therefore it solidifies his point even further, because instead of being distracted with whether or not who's done something wrong here.
Yeah, now he's just trying to bluff. Bro, you're not.
Yeah, I think he is bullshit.
You're a fucking sex offender. How are you winning anything, bro?
Oh.
How are you winning anything? Okay. Yeah. You fucking raped a child. How are you winning anything? Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, I was going to say, did you also hear, apart from like showing the weapons and stuff like that, did you also hear when he sat down? He said, I don't fucking care about the court orders or nothing. Did you go replay that?
No, when did he say that?
If you play it through, I can't remember, but he I don't know if he says that.
I'll definitely play this one.
He does say something like, and fuck the courts, fuck whatever they say, which goes to show, and I do believe on cross-examination, Bird asked him if he was only getting this restraining order so he could go ahead and get himself off of the registered sex offenders registry, whatever. So there you go, judge. Here's your proof. He doesn't give a fuck about the restraining order. He just wants to get off the sex offenders registry. And he's going to try and flip it around, flip it, reverse it, bop it, twist it, and try to intimidate the boys doing this shit. Bitch.
That's what he's doing.
This is why I don't drink no more. This is why I don't drink no more. Not that I have guns or nothing, but you are foolish, sir. You are foolish. You're an idiot. Retard, fucking pedophile, idiot, fuckhead, bitchhead, stupid, dumb, ugly, rat-looking motherfucker. I'm done.
Oh, Katie, thank you very much. Oh, shit. There's Rex yelling back at you. Damn you, who cares what you think? Who cares? Who cares? I'm busy working. Yeah, he brandished a couple gun stays. Oh, shit. Tay's auditors laugh like hell. Yeah, it's in the courtroom countdown video from yesterday. Man. Well, I just said that there. It's all BS. Why are you asking fucking questions in here? Why are you asking questions in here, bitch? Go back to the rifle pictures. Let me see.
Yo, if you want to fucking call me a bitch, I'll show you what a fucking bitch is. Get your fucking ass up here. Don't be sitting down there calling me a bitch. I ain't no fool. You are a fool.
Who's calling you a bitch?
Fucking Rex, the pedo. Come up here and I will show you what a bitch is like. Okay?
Right there.
I don't usually ever interact with pedophiles or sex offenders, but since AB is up here, I'm good. But get your fucking little ass up here, stupid.
Yo, Rex, come on up here and talk to us.
Talk your shit, bitch. Talk your shit. Come on.
Are you holding the weapon right now by chance?
Do I? No, I don't. I've got hands, bitch. I don't need a weapon. I could whoop his skinny ass, okay? And trust
Especially
and
that
believe,
he's a
I ain't
gimp.
gonna throw any vegetation in your face. I'm gonna come and fucking right hook your bitch ass and knock you out. Trust and believe. Don't talk to me. Don't tell me I'm a bitch. Do not ever call me a bitch again. We're gonna have some real problems. Yeah, he's very abusive towards women. Well, I'm very abusive towards registered sex offender, rat, toothless looking motherfuckers. Okay.
Come on up here. You're not streaming anymore, Rex. Come up and talk.
He's scared. Karen's.
Can you let us into your
arguments?
what?
What's Karen? I'm Katie.
What's the clause? What's the clause that you're allowed to possess these weapons now? These dangerous weapons.
Yeah.
But you're also talking about how you were able to build a nuclear device in your front yard, maybe even plant a howitzer there because there's nothing saying that you can't.
Just because, like, it's like if the words are not verbatim, he thinks he can circumvent shit. You are stupid. You are already working from a deficit. Don't you understand that, you fucking pedophile weirdo fuck? You are working from a deficit. Everywhere you go, you are working from a deficit, okay? That's why people don't like you. That's why people don't fuck with you. That's why you sit in a goddamn bus with two people in your chat, and one of them is either Tommy, the other one's fucking you on a sock account, okay? You have no fucking microphone. You suck. Your whole production sucks. Stagecraft Productions. You want to know what production looks like? Come watch my channel. Don't chat in there because you're gonna get blocked in 2 seconds, bitch. But come look at the production Kayonce has. Okay? You think your music's good, bitch? Come listen to Kayonce sing. Okay? You ain't got nothing on this bitch up here. So come on up. I want all the smoke. Come on, let's go.
Rex, you can handle this. You're gonna get Rex excited. That's so much woman action. He hasn't had this amount of interaction with women in a long time. Tommy can't even do it that good.
What, the last time he interacted with a woman, the one where he went in and took a bath and left like a black ring around the tub and she cussed him out on live and said, "Don't ever bathe in my tub again."
I wonder who that was.
It was the horse lady.
Oh, the horse lady?
Connie, I think was her name.
Connie, God bless her. Rex, you can come up. What's the brand of firearms? Let's have a look at that again. Let's see what
Angela's
that is.
in here. I bet he can figure it out.
It's a 308. Rex, is that a 308? That just looks like a little Beretta, doesn't it?
I don't know much about guns.
I don't know about that one.
Either way, doesn't he have to have some kind of license or registration for a gun? Just like
Absolutely.
He's a sex offender.
And you should be able to.
Sex offender registry. You need a gun registry.
I think so.
Mm-hmm. And regardless, I mean, he's not allowed to have them in his possession. It doesn't matter who owns them. He insinuates that he owns those guns, y'all, when he says ownership, blah, blah, blah. Remember, he insinuates that. But he's not allowed to possess a firearm. And your dumb fucking drunk ass wants to walk around with a fucking rifle and then flash a gun and then say you're going to shoot them in the dick. Are you dumb or stupid?
So the RSO firearm ban, if Rex is a felon common for RSOs, possessing firearm violates Colorado law, and that's 16-12-108. It's a class 6 felony, 12 to 18 months in prison, Rex. And it violates a federal law, 18 USC 922, G subrule 1, adding leverage to their report.
What are you going to do with the WD sex offender weirdo RM fucking channel now? What's going to happen? You can't stream from fucking jail, bitch. Lose again. Here you go. Look up New York. We ain't in New York, stupid. We ain't in New York.
You lose again? LL, here, you go look up this New York State Rifle and Pistol Association.
We're not in New York.
Yeah, they mentioned that. But what does that have to do with you?
That's an association in New York, stupid.
This is the case. Hold on. This will be the case. I read this a little bit ago.
Well, I guess he don't want no smoke. He's scared of KE.
Let me just see here.
Oh, and lastly, how does he think that he's had his rights restored?
Rex, how are your rights restored exactly in North Dakota? And shouldn't it
Or
be Illinois?
or where? How does that happen? I've never heard of that before. Were you pardoned by the governor like Ernie is trying to get?
That's a Supreme Court ruling. So New York State, this is how I believe is what his basis for getting off the registry is. So let me plug this in.
God, for someone who loves to argue and debate and yell and scream, it's very interesting. He's got nothing to say to me.
Well, it's all disingenuous. He only likes it one-sided. We try to give him every opportunity, but he only wants to do it under the guise of being over on his channel where he can put you in a little cage and talk over you and things. He doesn't like to talk with a person.
Mm-hmm. He tried with Ernie, which was hilarious. And Ernie said,
yeah, Ernie.
On paper? The fuck?
Dude, Ernie couldn't let that one slide.
Mm-mm.
He was convicted in Illinois. Anything he wants to have done would have had occurred there, right? As they were the convicting state. Okay. Now, I'm looking at that right now. Hold on. So this is overview of NSRPA and Bruin 2022. So this background, this is in NYSRPA versus Bruin. The Supreme Court struck down New York's proper cause requirement for issuing concealed carry permits, which demanded applicants demonstrate a special need for self-defense beyond general safety concerns. The 6-3 decision, authored by Justice Clarence Thomas, was decided on June 23, 2022. Key holding. The court ruled that the Second Amendment protects an individual's right to carry firearms in public for self-defense, and restrictions must be consistent with the historical tradition of firearm regulations in the U.S. The previous means and scrutiny, balancing state interests against rights, was replaced with a test requiring laws to align with the historical precedent from the founding era or Reconstruction. States can no longer require subjective special need for public carry permits, but the ruling didn't invalidate all firearm restrictions, only those lacking historical analogs. Let me read that again. States can no longer require subjective special need for public carry permits. Okay.
That's not subjective. He's a felon.
Rex, as an RSO and presumed felon, allegedly displayed a rifle and semi-automatic handgun in a live stream on March 20th, 2025 to intimidate David and Bird, potentially violating a court order, example, a restraining order. The transcript references self-defense, 4708, self-defense, you're damn right, and firearm threats. Emptying this into your groin, that violates federal 18 U.S.C. 922 G1. In Colorado law, prohibit felons from possessing firearms, and this restriction is central to his case.
Oops.
Hey, Viper.
I used to be from New York, so let me
go ahead.
Break that down for you. So what that means by special needs is, so like I own a car lot, okay, and I needed a concealed carry for my weapon because we transport large amounts of cash to auctions, upwards of $50,000 or $60,000 at a time. In New York at the time, you had to have a special permit in order to do that. It's called a special needs permit for work-related armed guard duties. If you're a police officer performing an extracurricular activity like guarding an event or something like that off the clock, you had to have had a special needs permit. Well, that was done away with. So now it's just considered a concealed carry permit, period. You don't have to have a special reason to have one anymore. However, the laws limiting those that could get them are still in place, as the law, as you just read, it says, those laws still remain in place. RSOs, registered sex offenders, cannot have a pistol or a gun or any other type of weapon at any time in any U.S. state or territory. That is 100% illegal for them to do. And he is online as an RSO brandishing 2 weapons. That needs to be sent to his court. That needs to be sent to his police. That needs to be sent to whoever. Everybody.
Viper, it says, so this, like, it doesn't help you. This case doesn't have anything to do with your situation. That's what the AI is saying. It says your situation, Rex, is completely separate than the case that you're citing.
Rex, perpetual denial of a constitutional rights without individual justification or a historical basis conflicts directly with Bruin's guidance. Bitch, there is justification. You are a registered sex offender felon, bitch. What the fuck? And you've lost, I think that you've re-lost that privilege, because the day that you win or think you won something, you come back, your rights are not even restored, and you come back waving a gun and a rifle and a pistol. So regardless, you fucked yourself. You're stupid. Don't drink whiskey, dummy. Okay, I'm getting down. And you're a pussy. You're a pussy, Rex. Fucking pussy little bitch.
Yeah, definitely don't drink and live stream for sure.
Well, we'll see what the sheriff's department have to say about it.
Yeah.
I think Mary let them know.
Oh, I'm gonna definitely let them know as well. I'm sure
Rex can probably own black powder firearms like his Chomo buddy News Now Houston. Mike, yeah, that's what I was thinking. That rifle isn't black powder.
Oh,
that has a clip on it. It's not a single shot black powder type of situation or a shotgun.
Thank you, Dunning. I will make that call today.
He wants to call me names right when I jump off the panel, and I find that hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm living for this right now. How is this crazy law, lawyer, whatever the fuck, LARPer, face, bus, riding, cat, fucking owning, you weirdo fuck. You need to stop wearing white pants, fucker. You need to stop wearing all America. You are not America. You are not American. Nobody thinks that registered sex offenders are not American. You all should be fucking put on an island so you can eat each other, okay? So come up here and call me a bitch, or I'm gonna fucking time your ass out. How about that?
Oh.
Come up here and call me a bitch, or I'm gonna time your ass out in the chat. How about that?
Come on up here, Rex. It's okay.
Just like you said, you're not fucking around. I ain't fucking around. I'm not going to let a fucking pedophile call me a bitch.
Rex, come on up. We won't let anybody stomp all over you. You can have your say. You want to explain to us these guns in your possession? It will probably circumvent a lot of calls, I would expect.
By the way, so you don't need to be a lawyer to understand the laws. You just have to be a citizen that obeys them.
I mean, I'm a retard at this shit, and I understand what's going on here.
So here's one for you. Listen to this. Under the Gun Control Act of 1968, 18 U.S.C. 921A, Subrule 16, black powder guns, such as muzzle-loading rifles, shotguns, or pistols, designed to use black powder or its substitutes, and not capable of firing fixed ammunition, are classified as antique firearms. These are exempt from the federal definition of firearms, Consequently, 18 U.S.C. 922 subrule G, or G subrule 1, which prohibits felons from possessing firearms, doesn't apply to antiques. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives confirm that felons can possess black powder guns unless they're modified to use modern ammunition. Unless they're modified to use modern ammunition. So RSO status alone doesn't automatically trigger this ban. Only a felony conviction or specific court order does. So I wonder if that has to apply. And how the fuck is this an antique weapon? That doesn't, it would have to be modified.
So that's a modernized weapon. That's a,
yeah, it doesn't look like it's unless it's a 1911
or 45.
Yeah, but it's not. It's too small. I don't know. I can't. I don't know.
That's definitely a big. That's a big one right there.
That doesn't look like an antique weapon to me.
That could definitely take out a couple groins.
Groins.
Fucking Rex, I'm trying to find a way out for him. Right? I don't know, man.
I was even trying to. I had to take my dog to the vet because she's getting her teeth cleaned today, and I was sitting there like, what are we missing there? Because he cannot be this fucking dumb. He cannot be this dumb, bro. You are this dumb. You are a whole new level of dumb. Don't ever call yourself like a law-knowing individual. Okay, you are so dumb.
He's one of those citizen people, right? Is that what he is? One of those citizen. Yeah. Sovereign citizen. Yeah. Okay. Well, he says 303 already turned in. I don't think he knows who I am.
He doesn't. But I would love for him to get to know you.
My name is Angelo Stevens. I'm not 303, and I'm not Bird. I'm a different monster altogether.
You're missing brains. Well, let us in, Rex. Come on.
Come educate us, sir.
First thing I'm going to do is pull his military records. Go ahead. I bet you're going to tell me I can't do that, right?
You can't do that.
I've been told that before.
Angela, you need like a check box for these people because it's the same thing every time.
Yeah. I'm on food. I'm on food stamps. I don't work for the federal government. I was never in the military. I never testified at the Capitol. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I'll pull his records.
So it doesn't say anything about Colorado here. So this RSOs can own black powder guns for self-defense in states like Texas, Tennessee, at home for felons, West Virginia and Louisiana, provided that they're not felons or under court orders banning weapons, like Rex looks to be. Federal law permits this for non-felons, but state laws and RSO conditions often tighten the reins. Most states like California, Oregon, New York prohibit it outright for felons. And supervision terms can block it out everywhere. An RSO should consult a local attorney to confirm eligibility. Self-defense doesn't trump legal bans. And ignorance is not a defense, Rex.
Or whiskey.
Or looking 90 on your live streams. How old is that guy? He looks like he's 90.
I thought he was like 80.
Lord,
so who the freak cares who you are? You don't read, so it will not do you any good.
Oh, no, I don't read. No.
Get up here, Rex. Stop being like that. You can get up here and talk.
Is he scared of me? I can get down if he's scared of me.
Well, he's intimidated. Maybe you're going to have to go over and start up a new live and flex those guns of yours and show Katie exactly what a real man is like he's got whiskey and some guns on his hands.
There is no doubt in my mind I could whoop his ass.
Probably could. I don't know if Tommy's going to let you, though.
Tommy, get the fuck out of the way. Tommy looks like a midget. Listen, I might be 125 pounds, 5'10" and a half, but bitch, I have a mean right hook and a mean ass uppercut. And that jaw line looks like it could get snapped in 2 seconds, and I would knock the rest of your motherfucking teeth out your head, bro.
Tooth.
Don't mess with KE. Don't. So I'm going to get down, and you're going to call me a bitch, and I'm going to fucking boot your ass. So, yeah. Thank you for having me up for the third time. Angelo.
Hey, I saw your video with the horse. That was awesome, by the way.
Yeah. I think the animals and stuff. I love the animal streams, and it gives everyone kind of a break from this kind of fuck shit, because not everyone wants to
Yeah.
fight with registered sex offenders and, have to talk about, why he's drunk showing rifles and pistols. But I think it also it humanizes me as well, because I think people forget we're human beings up here. We have shit we do in our lives. And so people like the softer side of KE. I don't
I
call
get
him
it.
a bitch. And he has all his fucking teeth. I'll tell you that much. Okay.
Oh.
He's got all his damn teeth. Okay. Goodbye.
Well, thank you very much for having me up as well, Mr. AB.
No
I
problem,
appreciate
man.
it.
I'm gonna take this down and wait till Rex goes live, and I'll be back up a little bit later on today.
You be safe. Thank you so much for holding this sexual predator accountable for his.
Oh, no problem, Viper. No problem at all, my friend. Friends, I don't know what Rex is gonna do today. I'm gonna keep an eye out, but I'm going to be concerned. I might even get a call or make a call into the sheriff's office just to settle my own mind, because I'm really not sure about this. I don't think that he should be in possession, but we'll see about that. Accountable. LOL. Rex, why don't you fire up a live stream? We'll be over there in a few minutes, okay? When he does, stay tuned, because I'll just fire up a live and I'll join his panel. If I do join Rex's panel, it'll be live over here for those of you who want to watch in this sort of arena rather than over there in the Chomo's live chat. Oh my God. He switched accounts. Keep watching and making false calls makes it easy for you. Nobody's making a false call. Oh, in half an hour, you still working? Okay. So Rex is going to be live in half an hour. Join or blame Katie. We'll probably be live at some point throughout today. Purple Phoenix was live a couple hours ago. So if you haven't watched that stream yet, go over there and check it out. She was shit talking Susan Bennett. God bless Susan Bennett. It's glad to see hers. She's back. But it's another thing that you two have in common. Susan and Rex both love the whiskey. They both love getting into that whiskey and getting hammered in live streaming. You guys need to be up in a live stream together talking about it. That would just be epic. Oh, you can't see Rex? Rex is right here. He switched accounts. So that's Rex's account as well. Internet killed the TV. So if he was in Stagecraft Productions, now he's in a different... Katie probably timed him out. Mary, you think Colorado's going to get her? You hear sirens? Oh, Mary's a cop caller. What did they say when you called them, or your friend? Let me know. All right, guys, I'm going to take off and get on my day, and we'll be back on a Friday night, a little bit later this afternoon, just to catch up on some things. We'll find something funny to talk about. Thank you very much for joining. And Rex, I'll be jumping up and tearing a strip off you in just a few moments. Thank you very much, guys.